What is up, guys? It's Ella
and Serene, and welcome to episode 2 of Spill the Tea. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about camping experiences
and weird pregnancy cravings.
I'm excited about this one.
I'm scared.
So, Ella and I've camped my whole life.
Same, yeah. It's a lot of camping.
Lots of camping. Tent camping, RV camping. I've never been in a cabin before, but a lot of camping and a lot of experiences.
Yeah.
So, I remember one time, I don't know why we did this, but we were at this place called Samson, and is it one of the Finger Lakes? Yeah. I forgot what Finger Lake it is. But on one of the Finger Lakes, we were camping on there. And, of course, there's the walkway that you're supposed to walk on. But then there's also rocks on the water you can walk on. So we walked this whole entire way. I hate snakes. Any type of snake. Little snake, big snake, rattlesnake, serpent. No. I don't do it. But for whatever reason, I chose, to be the leader in this little walking extravaganza.
Yep.
And I looked down, and there's a water snake. I've never jumped so high in my life. Now, to be able to get back onto the pavement where people were walking, where there wasn't a railing, I'm 5'2". It was about 5 feet high.
Yeah, it was a really, you had to climb to get back up.
Yeah, you had to use all your might. You got scrapes as you were doing it. I jumped so high, and I ran onto that pavement the second that I saw that snake. My life flashed before my eyes. My life, I had nice husband, beautiful family, beautiful house, great job, everything, and I died peacefully. Life flashed before my eyes, guys, but it was okay. Ella, what's your experience? Another experience you got?
So we were playing, I think it was like Manhunt, and we were at I have no idea what it's called. I forgot, but it's a great camping place.
She's like, I don't know. We're somewhere in Narnia.
Somewhere. But the park was I want to say a 2-minute walk from our campsite, but there was a line of campers, the road, and then another line of campers. It was that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Turn off this bathroom.
Throwing popcorn kernels at me, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
It's all right.
Anyways, and I was running from my camper through another campsite. And they had Christmas lights, fairy lights hanging down from their their little canopy under their picnic table.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see them because they were off, so I ran straight into the lights, and the lights got wrapped around my neck. So I fell back. And then I heard wrestling in the camper that was right beside there. So I got up and I ran back to my camper.
You heard what?
Like people walking around in their camper.
Oh, I thought you said wrestling. Continue talking, please. Continue talking, please.
And so I was like, oh my goodness, I think I just broke their lights. So I run back to my camper. I'm about to cry because it hurt so bad. It strangled my neck. It hurt so bad. And I forgot who it was. One of my friends came up to me and was like, what just happened? And I did not want to tell her because I felt so bad about it. So I just went to my camper. I just started crying, and there was a huge red mark, so I put on a turtleneck and a hoodie so that no one would see, and continued playing.
It just looks like Ella got strangled.
Yeah.
To
it's
death.
oh well.
There's an imprint of a little fairy light on her neck too.
Yeah, it was an experience, but I felt so bad, and then I did it, and telling them, and they just started laughing. They were crying, laughing. Oh my goodness! I just remembered another experience that happened at that same day, same camping place. I was shot twice by a BB gun.
Oh my goodness! You just had me oh my goodness.
No, so my brother and all his friends, they do a massive BB gun war while they're camping and in the woods. And sometimes, if you're wearing a hoodie and sweatpants, you can look like one of the guys. Considering they were all really short, and I'm also pretty short, it didn't look that much different. So I was walking, I get shot twice at the same time by my brother and one of my brother's friends in one punch.
Oh, wow. in one buttock in the other. I wonder if they were purposely shooting there, but...
Bro, I don't even know, but it hurt so bad. It was like a little indent in my pants.
It was alright.
Yeah.
I remember when we went camping for my parents' anniversary. It was their... it was their 20th anniversary. My family ended up going camping with Ella's family, and her brother brought a friend. And where we were camping, we were at the end of the loop, so there was this massive field right across from us, which is amazing. And I remember they almost spent like all day trying not to shoot each other with the salt gun. Like, see how much distance. If you guys don't know what a salt gun is, it's just a gun where you can like kill
like flies
and bugs with salt. You know what I mean? So they were trying to see how far the salt gun can shoot. I also remember that day that they broke my plane. I had a plane, guys. It was a beautiful plane. I got it specifically for that trip because when I was looking on Google Maps and I saw the place we were going to and I saw the camping site that we were going to, I saw that there was a massive field right across. So I'm like, oh, good. I'm going to get some kites. I'm going to get this little airplane that you can fly in the sky. I played with it once. I let them play with it. And I got it back to me. They brought it back to me broken.
Yeah.
When the only rule that I said was, don't break my plane. So now they owe me a plane. I did an English there real quick. I also remember that camping trip, everyone had some type of injury.
Oh my goodness. Remember when I got flung in a circle by the weird thingy?
We were on a carousel.
Yeah.
In a playground.
What are those like playground ones? You like run around in a circle and it spins?
So there's 4 of us. Imagine 4 teenagers. We're spinning around. We're running in a circle, holding onto the thing to spin it around to then jump onto it. 3 of us are on the carousel. Ella goes flying.
My arm had gotten like stuck in one of like the bars, and I tried to get out of it, and then I ended up just getting like flung.
Like this girl flew like she was Supergirl.
Yeah.
All of the stuff in her pockets all fell out, and
it hurt so bad. I snacked like my like spine, like my back, hurt so bad.
I tried so hard not to laugh because, of course, you have 2 other teenage boys, one being her brother, laughing at her. But it was so funny. I just saw how her body flew. I could not contain myself, and I started laughing. I got kicked in the face by your little sister.
Oh, yeah.
She was coming down the slide. I didn't know she was coming down the slide. And my face was right at the exit of the slide. And she ended up kicking me, like, right in my nose. I remember one person, their ankles were hurting them or something. And I think your brother, that was when his collarbone.
Oh, yeah.
Something was wrong with his collarbone or whatever. Right. But yeah, we all...
Everyone got injured.
We all got injured that whole entire trip. And then the creepy campground dude.
Oh, yeah. That was creepy.
He was really creepy. But do you remember the go-karts that they had there?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those were cool.
I remember that. They had the little go-karts there, and those were really fun. And we were riding around. That was a
fun place. That was a fun camping.
Mm-hmm. I liked that camping trip. It was fun.
Yeah.
And we took that little hike on the water. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
No, you don't. She said yeah.
I've gone on so many true. Walks and trips around water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I remember going on the hike. That was fun. What else do we have? We have a whole list over here of the metal fireplace.
Oh my goodness.
Darien Lake. Six Flags Darien Lake. We were playing Manhunt. Have we explained Manhunt? It's just hide and seek in the dark, if you guys don't know what that is. It's hide and seek in the dark, but it's way better in the dark. But we were playing Manhunt, and I'm with one of my friends, and we both decide to... Is my thing burnt?
Burnt?
Oh, my Apple Watch cover, I think it's burnt or cracked or something. I don't know. Anyways, sorry, I get distracted easily. But My friend and I were trying to find a place to hide, which we ended up finding a place which was in the back of a random person's pickup truck. But I was running, and there they have these black metal fire pits. If you've ever gone camping, they have one at every camping site or whatever. But of course, it's 1 o'clock probably in the morning. It's dark outside. There's no light anywhere. And I ended up tripping over it, front flipping over the metal fire pit, and my head was 1 inch away from the edge of the metal fireplace. And if my neck would have hit it, or even the back of my head, my dad goes, you probably would have been paralyzed.
Oof, dang.
I had to sit out the rest of that round, but it's okay.
Yeah.
And I remember, I feel like I always find the dumbest but the greatest places for manhunt. Like, we played last night. We went to a bonfire last night. I was around the cars. Like, I was literally just standing there around the cars, which is the most obvious place to hide for manhunt. Yeah. And I had you calling me like, dude, where are you? And I'm like, I'm so surprised that they haven't found me.
Yeah, it was because we were about to start a new round. I was like, hold up, where's Serene? We need to find her.
I don't necessarily trust people when they're like, yeah, everyone's been caught. I don't trust that. Yeah. Because people are like, oh my goodness, everyone's been caught. And then you come out of hiding and then they tag you and you're like, what the heck? Because I remember we went to Samson and I hid in the back of the twins' dad's truck. I also had a Charlie horse when I was running. And I literally just sat there for like 20 minutes waiting for everybody to finish. And then I was just on my phone and everyone's texting me, we're done. And I'm like, dude, this is so obvious for someone to hide in the back of a pickup truck. Like, why haven't you found me yet?
Yeah, we were saying that they're like, all right, we're going to get more people. We're going to start another round. I'm like, hold up, where's Serene? Where'd she go? And I was like calling her. And then Brooke goes, Ella, is this your phone? And I go, no, why would how could I call myself on my phone? And she's like, oh, whose phone is it? I'm like, I think it's Serene's. And I was like, oh, that's why she's not answering me. And then I was like, wait, she has her watch. She should be able to answer
I
me.
most definitely was screening your calls on my watch. I look at my watch, it goes, Bubba, and I'm like, I'm not answering her. I'm like, no, because if you called me and then you are around, you would be able to hear yourself through the watch. And I'm like, I'm not taking any chances. And I kept on screaming, I'm too young to die.
Yeah.
When they were chasing me.
Yeah.
And they were saying it was unfair that I was playing, which was...
Yeah, because you're like a football athlete. You did track, and you're like, I don't know.
Well, anyways.
Yeah.
I actually feel like I'm a pretty slow runner when I want to be. Can you stop staring into my soul?
No.
You're like reading my mind.
I just be like that.
My favorite one. My favorite memory. You're looking at the list, right? Yeah. And I see your eye already go to that one. Now, if you've ever been in a camper, so Ella's camper is a lot different from mine. Mm-hmm. Her camper, she has bunk beds in hers. My camper, I have my own room. It has bunk beds, but I have my own separate room. But in hers, she doesn't. So imagine there's about 5 kids in a camper. It's going to be kind of squished, right? We got one boy on the couch, one boy on the dining set that changes into a bed. We have, at that time, she was probably 7? Mm-hmm. Little sister, 7, on the bottom bunk. And then you have 2 tweens on the top bunk, which is smaller than the bottom bunk, right? So you don't get to talk.
It's smaller.
You don't.
It's the exact same size.
Yeah.
No, the bottom and the top are the exact same size. The top has more space like this.
Oh,
so the bottom is like smaller.
True. Anyways, that doesn't differentiate. That's a word, yeah.
Nah.
Probably not used in the right context. Don't grammar police me. But so stop. You can't even be talking about grammar. Okay?
I'm dyslexic.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you're dyslexic. So that's why you can't be talking about grammar. All right? I will continue my story as I was previously doing before I was interrupted.
It's okay.
Dyslexia. My behind. Anyways. So we finally end up going to sleep after a day of great fun. Ella's sleeping, so we sleep opposite, where her head is where my feet are laying, and my head is where her feet are laying. So I don't know if you can kind of imagine that, right? I'm sleeping. She's laughing over here. I'm sleeping. I wake up. I'm a pretty deep sleeper too. So anything that happens to me, my mom says I can sleep through a hurricane. So I'm sleeping. And I wake up in the morning, rise and shine. All of a sudden, I feel something in my mouth. I don't sleep with my mouth open. I just don't. Unless I'm really tired. I wake up and I feel something in my mouth, and I open my eyes, and I finally, come to my senses after I wake up. Ella's foot is in my mouth. Her nasty, dirt-ridden, salty flesh is in my mouth. For how long? I have no idea. When I tell you I slapped her foot so far away and I really wanted to throw up. For number one, why was it so salty? What the heck? You're just yeah, let me take a salt bath real quick for my feet. Oh my goodness. It was
The thing is, I didn't even realize that. I actually thought you were lying when you woke up and told me that. I was like, no, that didn't happen. Did not believe that happened because I didn't even
Oh, it happened, all right. Because I woke up to it.
You sure? It wasn't a dream?
No. Because I couldn't fall asleep after that. I literally was like, there's no way that I'm falling asleep after this because I'm not letting another chance of her having her foot in my mouth. I died.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them the bacon story?
Okay, so we were also back in my camper.
This was another trip. This was another trip at the same camping spot.
Yeah.
Same people as well.
Yeah. And me and Serena decided we want some bacon at 12, 1 in the morning?
Probably.
Something like that. So we reheat up some bacon that we had earlier that day.
It was so good,
too. But we had to do it in the microwave. In our camper, you have to turn off the air to use the microwave. So I turn off the air. I go use the microwave. We eat the bacon. We put some maple syrup. It was great. It was a great time. We come back down. We're about to clean up. And I was like, okay, it's really, it was really, really hot out. So let's turn.
It was in the middle of summer, so it's probably around 70 degrees outside of the camper. Plus you're inside of the camper, so it's pretty hot in there.
And also the bunk beds get really, 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 really hot.
Yeah, we're on the top bunk, so of course heat rises, so
we're really, really hot. And I did not realize that to turn back the air, there was 2 modes. You can turn on the heat, or you can turn on the cold air. You gotta tap twice to turn the cold air on.
I want y'all to guess which one she turned back on. Okay? There's a 50-50. She turned on the cold one, or she turned on the hot one. And based on my tone of voice, I think y'all know which one she turned on.
So, I just have it once. And I ended up turning on the heat. And for the whole night, there was just heat blasting on us.
Wait. They need to understand. So, when we sleep on the top bunk, Ella sleeps with her head facing the end of the trailer.
And there's a little curtain.
So I'm going to see if I can try to help you guys understand how, the bunk beds are. So, there's 3 walls, and then the 4th wall, there's a curtain. That's how we get in and out. My head is facing the curtain because, I don't know, I just don't like sleeping when I feel contained. I guess it's claustrophobia or whatever. So I open the curtain a little bit so that I have cold air blowing on me so I don't get hot because I can't sleep when it's too hot. That night, Ella Lynn over here decides to turn on the heat after we eat bacon. So there's hot air blowing on my face.
And the air vent is directed directly to the top bunk. Mm-hmm. So it's right there. Right.
It's right in my face. It's hello, right there in my face.
And it was already really hot in the bunk. So it was. And my dad was like, why is this so hot in here?
If he wakes us up asking, why is it so hot in here? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't touch the air. I don't do that. Clearly, I should.
Yeah.
So there was just hot air blowing in my face, on my body, all night. And I was really wondering, I was like, why is it so hot? Like, what did you do? So Ella's no longer able to touch the thermostat. And
Anymore. Ever again.
Ooh, do the burnt shoes one. That's funny.
I don't really remember. I just remember my brother.
I can do the burnt shoes one.
Because I just remember.
I remember how stupid it was.
I remember him putting his shoes back.
Okay, so that was right after we laid in the rain for, so it rained when we were camping. Oh, yeah. So everything's wet. Like all of our clothes we were at the playground, so of course it starts downpouring, cats and dogs raining. So everything's wet. Our shoes are wet. I wear Crocs for that exact reason, but everything's just wet. So her brother's shoes end up getting wet. He has sneakers, like the mesh type sneakers, so it's not like it's leather where it bounces right off. So we're playing spades or whatever type of game on the picnic table, and there's a canopy over it, so we can't see behind us where the fire is. He decides that he needs his shoes to dry up, so he puts his shoes near the fire. We can't see the fire. It's not big, so it's not bad. It's a contained fire, but still. So we're playing these games or whatever. A little bit of time goes by. He leaves to go check on his shoes, and he comes back, and he holds his shoes up. He looked pretty mad, too.
He was so mad.
Those
were like his only shoes. He only
brought one pair of shoes.
One pair of shoes.
He
only owns one pair of shoes. He has his meeting shoes, and he got his sneakers. That is it. That's all he has. Now he has some sides, finally, but that's it.
Dude, I own like 20 pairs of shoes. Yeah. I can't. So he looks mad because there's now holes in the front of his shoes because he put his shoes too close to the fire.
Yeah, and they got all burnt.
Which
was so funny. It was so funny.
The three of us were dying because why? Okay, you couldn't have put it inside in front of the air vent where it could have dried.
Or there's literally like a dryer. You can go throw your shoes in the dryer at the camping place.
Oh yeah.
For like less than 2 cents.
Because there's a pool there, so they have the dryer thing where you can put your bathing suit in it. He literally in the morning could have put his shoes in there. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And he clearly didn't either.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the next topic, pregnancy cravings.
Oh, yeah.
We want to talk about weird pregnancy cravings. Cravings, not clavings. Disclosure, neither of us are pregnant. Neither of us are thinking about it.
We can talk about the pumpkin wars. I have to tell you guys about okay. We're going to move on to the pregnancy cravings really quickly, but Serene doesn't even know about the pumpkin wars.
I don't know what these... Okay,
Let me tell you.
But still disclosure, disclaimer, we're not pregnant. We're not thinking about it. We're both lonely.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about pumpkin wars, and then we'll talk about pregnancy cravings after.
Okay, so this was like so many years ago. And the two twins, the friends...
I hope there's two if there's twins.
Yeah, I'm trying to say their names. I don't know what to call them. Wait, I feel like I need to...
Yeah, we got to get permission before we say anybody's names.
I'm going to make up names for them.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Just say Va. So there's Va, and just say the
Patricia.
Twins. Just say the twins. Just say the twins.
Okay, so there's the twins,
calling her Patricia.
And then there's the two guys, which I'm gonna give them names: Jim and Joe.
Jim and Joe.
Jim and Joe.
Are they brothers? Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So it's the twins, Jim and Joe.
I'm gonna start calling them that in real life. All right.
So it's the twins, Jim and Joe. And we go to the camp store, and there's, like, a bunch of pumpkins. Like, a whole, like, field of pumpkins that you could buy for, like, less than, like super cheap pumpkins. So we all go and buy a bunch of pumpkins.
Oh, no, I can know where this is going.
So we go and buy a bunch of pumpkins. I come back with the cutest, like, the most perfect-looking pumpkin. Like, when you think of, like, a perfect tiny pumpkin with a perfect tiny bit curved, like, it was the perfect pumpkin.
Oh, okay.
the dads were all shooting their guns. The guys were all shooting the little BB guns and crap.
Oh.
They shot my pumpkin.
Oh, no.
My pumpkin was destroyed. So I started crying, obviously, because as you do when your pumpkin gets destroyed and you're 12 years old. So I started crying, and they were so sad for me. Because like, oh my goodness. So we go back, we buy another pumpkin. And then we were, like, protecting these pumpkins with our lives. Like, they were our children. And our older brothers, which my older brother and then Jim's older brother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Both of them.
Jim and... What did...
Joe. Jim and Joe.
Jim and Joe's older brothers.
Jim and Joe's older brother.
And your older
and
brother.
My older brother. They're like, oh, you guys have pumpkins that you actually care about. Let's go destroy them. Let's go. So
Wait,
they
I can imagine two of them doing that, but the third one...
Oh, no, the third one. He probably didn't do anything.
He probably just tags along.
And my other friend.
Uh-huh. Roxanne Ritchie.
I
actually call her Roxanne Ritchie, but...
Yeah, Roxamillion. And
that's what my dad calls her.
And her brother was also there. And we all got our pumpkins. We're protecting these pumpkins. And we called the pumpkin wars because we were like fighting for the other pumpkins. We made like little teams, like us girls, and then it was them. We were like fighting pumpkins. And then, sadly, my brother, who is an absolute idiot, goes and destroys Jim's pumpkin.
Oh, wow.
With a stick. And then Logan did end up, my brother... Yeah, he can put
honestly,
his name
nobody
out.
cares.
No one cares about him. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. My brother, Logan, did end up getting beat up with a stick because of it.
Honestly, it's
so
pretty
funny.
granted.
Honestly, it was so funny. But Logan, he was so mad. But then ended up, Roxamillion, her brother, also got involved. Anyways, it was a whole pumpkin wars. But Jim, he decides to take his pumpkin home. For the next, like, a month, every single time we went over to his house, there was just a rotting pumpkin in their garage. He just kept the pumpkin with him. So, that's the story of the Forever Pumpkin Wars. When I tell you, the pumpkins were our children for that whole camping trip, and how the brothers were literally trying to kill them, it was like a war. It was amazing.
I feel for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh, and we named them.
It.
No, we named the pumpkins. My pumpkin, who is dead, the perfect pumpkin, her name was Patricia.
You love the name Patricia. This girl loves the name Patricia. Like,
I actually hate the name Patricia. I think it's such. It's a lovely name. I'm not gonna say anything else because I don't want any.
Okay, pregnancy cravings. I want to talk about this.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So
cravings.
before this episode, we looked up some weird pregnancy cravings because.
Why not?
Exactly. Why not?
Because we can.
Now, I've heard of actual food. Now, if you are pregnant and you have these cravings, or even if you're not pregnant and you have these cravings, I have no judgment. I'm just talking about me and Ella's.
I have a little bit of judgment for some of them. A little bit for some of them.
That's why you have no friends. Anyways. I'm just talking about my personal opinion and if I would try these, yes or no.
Yeah. You see,
dirt. I'm starting off with the bang. Dirt. I've never heard of someone who's pregnant in my, not vicinity, that's not the word, in my presence where they're pregnant and they're like, I'm craving some dirt. What are you, a worm? Like, okay, that sounded very judgmental. Screw what I said about judgmental. I'm being very judgmental. What are you, a worm? Like, dirt? Like,
yeah.
What does your baby up in there want? I understand maybe some McDonald's, some Chick-fil-A, maybe even that pickle, cream cheese Cheeto dust thing. I understand that.
Like food that's edible.
But dirt?
Dirt isn't necessarily edible.
I mean, everything is edible. It's just how, it affects your body afterwards.
True.
That's what I say. What's yours, Ella?
Okay, ground up clay pots.
Tasty.
Yummy.
I feel like I'd see like a pregnant woman walk into the dollar store in the summertime and get like 50 clay pots.
Just like ground them up.
And then she puts them in the bag and then she just starts, like after she pays, breaks them up. Or even before she pays, just breaks them up. And then I see her walking out and I'm like, oh, what are those? Crushed up clay pots.
And then just, like, in the car, just munching on them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've heard of people eating glass, like, crushing up glass and eating glass.
I've heard of that, too. I've watched the, Strange Addiction, a show. And some people are just, they're different.
They're very different.
Laundry starch or just starch. I feel like that's the most common one.
Really?
Cornstarch? Yeah, I've
heard cornstarch.
Well, it's the same thing, like, kind of. But I've heard about cornstarch.
Cornstarch is more edible than laundry.
Well, cornstarch is edible, but still, it's not good for your system. I heard about the Tide Pods thing that kids used to do.
People ended up dying from that, didn't they?
I think so, probably. I wouldn't be surprised. But
yeah, because that's like a bunch of chemicals.
Yeah, like, I've heard of people eating that and the cornstarch thing, but I guess people have their addictions, so I'll let them be and bombastic side-eye them.
What's cement?
Oh.
Wet cement.
What?
There was the one where I said wet cement.
Oh, wet cement. What does just harden up in your body? Like,
yeah, I feel like, I don't know. That's just crazy.
No comment. Is what
no comment.
No comment.
Yeah.
What's the next one? You took one of mine. Okay, then I'm gonna take one of yours.
Yeah.
Sawdust. Woodchuck? Come on now. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? They're not...
A woodchuck could chuck wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Okay, you know what?
You not know the rest of it? There's like a whole...
I have a life.
No, there's like a whole another thing. There's how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? A woodchuck could chuck wood if a woodchuck did chuck wood. Because woodchucks don't actually chuck wood. That's why it's like...
Thank you, Google.
You're welcome.
But, like, that actually, like, cuts up your insides. It's sawdust, like...
But it's dust.
From what? What is it from? What is the sawdust from?
A saw.
I'm done. Next one. I'm not... Next one. Move on to the next one right now. Move on.
Rubber. Okay, I wouldn't personally eat rubber, but I would definitely chew it.
I mean, I feel like everyone has chewed on rubber.
Yeah.
Once in their life. But eat it?
I don't know.
Consume it? Digest it? Nah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Next one. Yours. Furniture polish.
Why do I feel like you've had furniture polish? I don't know. You said that so, like, angry. Like, I feel like you've had it.
No. Reason I need to think before I speak because I cannot English right now.
Okay.
The reason that I said that is because my mom and I were watching... Why are you folding a bath towel right now?
Because I can't. It's not a bath towel. This is a dish towel. A dishcloth. Or
okay,
a tea towel.
Mom.
It's a tea towel.
You Canadian. The reason that I said it so harsh is because... my mom and I were watching the show, and they were talking about Swedish fish. By the way, she's showing me this stupid dish towel, and it says group therapy with a bunch of wine glasses on it. You alcoholic. Anyways, as I was saying, we were watching a show, and they were talking about Swedish fish, and they were saying how Swedish fish isn't even made with gelatin.
Oh, yeah.
Let me finish before you start. And they're saying that it has the ingredients the same as, like, car polish, like the polishing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, people who like Swedish fish, who is not me, are eating car polish. Do you like Swedish fish? And by that dumb smirk on your face, I can tell that you already like Swedish fish.
Hey, they're pretty good. They're not my first choice of snack. I would not go to the store and I would not pick out some Swedish fish. Okay,
you need to go.
I wouldn't. I personally, I pick out some Kit Kats because Kit Kats are great. But I mean, if Swedish fish are the only thing available, I will grab a pack. And I will munch on some car polish.
If the last thing on earth to eat was Swedish fish, that's my last straw.
Gladly take a handful or two. Drink some car polish as a little drink beside it.
And there you go, folks. That's Ella in a nutshell.
No, but is like sweet treats are pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh.
but all right, y'all. I think we're about to end our second episode of Spill the Tea. Ending it on Ella saying that she's going to drink car polish.
You were the one who said the sweet treats are made of car polish, so.
Okay, but I never said to actually drink it. Anyways.
It's like basically the same thing.
All right, y'all. We are ending this episode of Spill the Tea. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.